What is up, everyone? Welcome to Reality Room Podcast with Paul.
And Nate. And today we're going to be bringing you our cast assessment for Survivor Season 9, The Island of the Idols. This season is going to be featuring Boston Rob and Sandra returning not as players, but as a bit of a coaching role. So they can kind of give some advice to the new castaways and how they should be playing the game.
That's
We're going to
right,
be,
guys.
once again, going over all the cast and giving our opinions on and predictions of how they might do, but in reality, who knows how they might do because it's just our first impressions.
Yeah, these things you always got to take them with a grain of salt, but it's a new Survivor season, their 39th season. We're all pretty excited about it. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to start one tribe at a time. Do you remember what was the orange one called again?
It was Lyro for, I think I'm probably butchering the hell out of that, but it's.
All right, so we're starting with Lyro, and let's start with our first contestant. We have our man Ronnie Barda. He is 35 years old. He is from Henderson, Nevada. He is a pro poker player. So we've had poker players in Survivor before. He claims to be resilient, analytical, and savvy. Contestant he's most like Jeremy Collins, Devin Pinto, and Boston Rob. That's like a fucking power combo right there. And he wants to overcome the challenge of Survivor. Nate, thoughts?
I'm nervous. One thing that he should not be saying is that I am a poker player. It's been shown in past iterations of the show whenever they bring on a poker player, they don't typically do well. Allie was probably the biggest hope anybody ever had out of any poker player, but she got basically swap fucked. Am I allowed to cuss? I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss.
It's okay. We don't have ads. We don't have ads anymore.
Okay.
So we're good.
Thanks, YouTube. But no, Allie was probably the best player out of the three. Garrett had a little bit of potential, but he just completely floundered. And then we had John Robert. But I actually
John Robert was his own special case.
Yeah. Oh, he was something for sure. And then we also had like a couple of other Survivor players who like dealt into the poker realm, and they've also been successful at some point with Survivor, but I think that they were more after already being on the show. However, I would like to say that despite the fact that he is a pro poker player, that I'm a little hopeful for him. I think that he is a different breed almost than what we've seen before.
What do you mean by different breed?
Just in terms of a poker player, like he doesn't seem like the cocky Garrett or John Robert. Allie had a little bit of an ego as well, but I don't think it was anywhere near the level that like John Robert or Garrett had. I also like that one of his strategies is to be like Devin Pinto, which for those of you watching, Paul gave me crap about not remembering Devin. I do like Devin. Devin's a great player. But I think that was probably the smart, like out of the three people he listed, Jeremy Collins and Boston Rob included. It's just
a great combination. It's a great combination of players. They're all like very like powerful players, like physically powerful, but they're also very. Devin's like a very laid back guy. So if he plays like the laid back card, like kind of like the sneaky. Actually, I think one or two other people said that they were most similar to Devin as well. This was probably because that's a season that's very close by, so it's probably one of the only ones that a lot of other people have watched. But this guy seems to know his stuff. Jeremy, Boston Rob. I'm sure the reason why they brought him is because he said Boston Rob, because you gotta have at least one, because there was another person who said Sandra, and I'm like, okay, we know why these people are here.
Yes.
But I'm definitely excited to see him.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just he's interesting. It is. I like the fact that he's traveled and he wants to, like, one thing that I really like. He wants to blindside the blindsiders. So like he is not someone who is he's going to be reactive, which is like if you're proactive, there's like benefits and negatives to it. And then same thing with reactive players. Sometimes reactive players are a little bit too slow to catch on to things. But reactive is oftentimes more observational. And I like the fact that because like it gives you a lot of confidence, and the proof is in the pudding that he's a pro poker player and that he's observational. So like that he's bringing that from his real life into Survivor, and that's a good trait to have.
Also, a lot of people are proactive in Survivor, but they only do it just for the sake of, hey, I want to make a move, and that's why I'm proactive. I think he'll do things I think that'll benefit him, and that'll be the benefit of his observation.
Yeah.
But let's jump into our next. Actually, well let's see how we think he's gonna do.
I would say Merge at the very least.
Yeah,
I don't want to put too much stock into him just because we haven't really delved into anyone else yet. But I think he's a good choice to bet on if you think he's gonna make jury. So
that's safe. Yeah. So let's get to our next contestant. We have Elizabeth Basil. She is 26 years old. She is from Saunderstown, Rhode Island. She is an Olympic medalist. She describes herself as gregarious, competitive, and loyal. She was the youngest member of the Olympic team in 2008 at 15 years old. Contestant that she's most like, Kara. She wants to compete, thinks she will have alliances and be able to connect with people. Nate, first impressions.
Is this champions versus contenders? It is. She's the celebrity castmate, I guess. It's
actually no. There is another celebrity, technically celebrity, but like actually sports. You're right.
Yeah.
They don't count.
It's hard to place like the people who have done who have been in the public eye because they're either going to go up very early, particularly if they're male. They typically do not make it very far. I would say she's either going to be. I don't know. If Kara is probably the correct person to compare her to. I'd probably say Lisa.
Yeah, I thought that was
Survivor Philippines.
Yeah, I thought that was a strange comparison to make, but again, with the season proximity.
Yeah, sense. More than likely. And like to be fair, I think Kara was a Lisa, but without the power, so that Lisa had in her season. So I think, it's just really hard. She's a big question mark because, typically when you are an Olympian or someone that has been in the public eye and you are playing Survivor, you are a fan of the show. But the fact that she's saying Kara is a little bit off.
Yeah.
To me.
So I think that this is what I think. She's someone who likes to compete. No Survivor is a great place to compete. I think she said she was like an Olympic swimmer or something along those lines, or she does swimming, something like
she's an Olympic medalist.
Doesn't actually say like in her bio what she was in the Olympics for, but I think
she was I think she was in swimming. Looks like I think she was in water sports.
Okay, so that works. So she
won 5 medals.
Five medals is nothing to Jesus Christ.
That's nothing to laugh at for sure. That means she was good at what she did. So expect her to be good in the water and challenges very early on, especially when it's in a beach like this. Like Beach RHF Ropes loves to throw them water challenges over and over and over and over again. So she's probably a shoo-in for Merge unless she gets blindsided after a swap, I think.
I think she'll. I don't know. Like you can't. I don't know anything about her personality, but competition-wise, like you said, she'll do very well.
Yeah.
But they don't really do a lot of water stuff after.
after Merge. Oh yeah. So like that's probably when her game is going to take a significant turn. But I think she can heavily rely on winning immunity for her tribe.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. All right. So let's get on to our next contestant. It's so strange because everyone has to see me like click this share screen button. Hey, I'm sharing screen, guys. Here we go. You ready? We're on our next contestant. All right, so here, this is Missy Beard. She's 24 years old. She lives in Tacoma, Washington, and she is an Air Force veteran. She claims to be relentless, clever, and decently dope. Dope. She's dope. The contestant she's most like, Kim. She's very pro-inspirational black leaders who break the mold like Barack Obama, Beyonce, and Oprah. Nate, thoughts?
Well, compared to like the two that we've had so far, there's not really a ton we can go off of based off of like what CBS has given us.
Yeah.
Usually that's either a bad thing or a really good thing. Usually, like if they give you too much, that's a very bad thing. Like we saw with what's his face, Keith last season, when it was just paragraphs of stuff.
But that's stuff that they write themselves, though.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
It's not like oh hey, so someone could write a lot and and still do
like
well.
Overindulge and have overconfidence, and that's kind of the sense that I had on Keith. It's hard to really put a like. There's not much here. That's the thing, and like her pet peeve is annoying human beings. Okay, so like, what makes someone annoying to you? Like that's not a lot. Like if it was like, oh, if they talk too much, all right, okay. Like now we understand what a bit more of what type of player you are.
Maybe everyone's annoying to her. Maybe she's just maybe every human's annoying. So her pet peeve is everyone. I wish you wrote that. That'd be fun. Someone should write that.
Yeah. That would be way more interesting of a personality if she just hated everyone, honestly. She does sound like she's more introverted though, so that's good.
She is very fit. She is very fit because she's an Air Force veteran, so you have to be very much in tip-top shape.
Mm-hmm.
So she could probably at least do well in challenges early on. But she might not be included in like the social circles if she is introverted. But again, we don't know if she is. We just know that she doesn't write a lot, which usually that is an indication that they are more introverted.
Yeah.
Or also writing a lot sometimes is also a sign that you're an introvert.
Yes.
But also a sign that you're extrovert. Sometimes.
Just depends. I tend to lean if you write paragraphs, you have no idea what the hell you're going to be doing as soon as you get in because like you think you know, but the moment you hit the sand, like your whole idea of what you thought you knew is gone. So
I'm gonna
it's
make
like
alliances and have
yes, yeah.
Really,
so
that's what everyone says.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of my take on it. I have more confidence in someone that writes very little than someone who writes too much. So that's my thing.
Because they have more potential.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rather than keeping themselves boxed in and saying, this is exactly how I'm going to play the game. Like, no, you don't know how exactly you're going to play the game until you actually meet everyone on your tribe. Like, that's how it works. Because you can't plan for certain personalities sometimes.
That's why I love people who write down that they're adaptable. That's all I like to see. I see adaptable. I'm like, finally, someone gets it. They're not saying, "Oh, I'm just gonna make friends with everybody."
Yeah.
And hope my alliance takes me to the end. What alliance? You're not playing yet.
You're not playing it. You have not felt out anyone. You don't even know if the people on your original tribe are the people you want to work with. Like, and especially in this day and age of Survivor, you might not even be on that tribe for more than 6 days. Like, that's. Ugh, I don't like that they do that right now, but because I'd rather have one swap at most pre-merge, but it's just like,
I don't mind two swaps because I like to break down from 2 to 3.
Yeah, I don't know.
I you to know more players.
My favorite swap was one of my favorite swaps in the modern age was probably in Heroes versus Hustlers, like Heroes, Healers, Hustlers, that one, because they swapped from 3 tribes into 3 tribes, and that was very interesting, and it worked. I thought it worked, honestly, because it was different. They really got to expose different like things that were happening. Allie got completely screwed by it, but like regardless. Like,
so it goes.
It was interesting. It happens. Like unfortunately, like luck is a factor in Survivor. Like not always the best player will always win. It's just
one of these contestants actually does say luck. They're gonna rely on luck. So when we get to them, I'll call them out.
Yeah.
But for now, let's jump into our next contestant before we there'll be plenty of time.
Yeah.
All right. So we have our guy Dean Kowalski. He is 28 years old. from New York City. He is in tech sales. Did I say New York City right? Probably. He is in tech sales. He describes himself as being jovial, observant, and likable. Based on what he has written down, I think he's also been a teacher or some sort, because he describes his inspiration as one of his students in his class. Contestant that he's most like, Wendell. So, we know what season this is based off of. Great at communicating with people and can use, claims to be great at communicating with people and can use social awareness to determine the right and wrong time to make moves.
So here's the thing. I like Dean, and it's not for the reason that people will probably think. One, I like his last name because Madagascar Penguins, Kowalski was the best one. But regardless, Dean, he reminds me of Brett from BB20, and I like Brett in BB20 because Brett was a little bit of an asshole, and I like those characters.
He was a good-natured asshole.
Yes, he was a good-natured asshole, and I like those characters because they have enough self-awareness. They might not have necessarily awareness of what's going on, but they know who they are. And you might not get their humor. I relate to that humor basically, and I know why. He's from Jersey. So it's
of course.
Yeah, so he's originally from Jersey, moved to New York, and so another tri-state. I'm pulling for the tri-state area people once again. We've had a good run in the modern age, so
that's very true. We've done very well.
Ever since season 27, we've had a consistent amount of people from the tri-state area in the final three. So. But he is, I'm glad, and that makes me feel a bit better of him choosing Wendell as the person he's most like, because Wendell is from Philly, so I think Wendell's originally from Jersey as well, so it's don't quote me on that, I'm probably wrong, but
Wendell's an interesting choice because he was, he was in control of that season, he was in control of himself.
But the spotlight was on Dom, and that's the interesting. A lot of people still think that Wendell should not have won that season. I'm like, well, when everyone when you have basically everyone but one other person voting, and you end up being the winner anyway, I think that's a bit different. And Wendell had a very slow start at the jury phase because Dom just completely dominated, and then Dom just floundered towards the end, whereas Wendell picked up steam and started really focusing on his relationship.
Yeah, there's more. When jury comes around, there's more focus on the late game. You can tout things you did early, and that's great. Do that all you want, but you haven't even met everyone.
Yeah, the first couple of moves that merged are super important for setting you up, but they're not the ones that people really remember. It's the ones that are at Final 7, Final 8, Final 6. Those are the moves that people remember because they were at very crucial times and making sure that your numbers are there to make it to the end. So
unless you play an idol or something early.
Yeah, of course, to save yourself. But I like him. I hope he does very well because I'm banking on the fact that he's a little bit of an asshole, and we need a character in Survivor
he doesn't look like one to me. He looks
Brett didn't look like one either, and he ended up being one. So
we got. I guess you gotta hold on to hope for these kind of things. I don't know.
I want different types of characters. We can't always have golden child bros in the game. I want people who are a little bit of an asshole but still good-natured people, the people who seem like they're not taking things seriously when they actually are. Those are the best players, I think.
I want people that start as those good-natured people and then progress into, or should we say degress, or whatever the term is.
Oh, so you want another you want another Worlds Apart? I see.
It's just more fun. Because you watch them devolve or evolve, however your perspective is. Yeah. And Survivor, it's probably evolve. Yeah. But in just life, it's probably devolve. All right, but I don't think Dean is. Honestly, I think he'll probably be an early boot. He looks average to me. I hope he's an asshole, but I don't think he is.
Yeah, I hope he makes it far. And again, I have hopes. We can only go by off of this, so it's like I'm probably just making guesses. But I'm looking for the next little bit of an asshole. Like that's what I want.
Fair enough. And here we have our next contestant. We have Tom. Oh, I think I spelled his name wrong. Tom Laidlaw. He is. Pretend I spelled that right. Laid Law. Tom Laidlaw. He's 60 years old. From Greenwich, Connecticut. He is a former. I think I wrote NFL player, but I think it's
NHL. Yeah, hockey
NHL.
Player.
Yeah, I wrote NHL.
Oh, he's a Canadian. All right.
He was a Canadian.
Yeah.
But now he lives in Connecticut. So he's as close to a Canadian as you can get in America. He's disciplined, dedicated, and stubborn. Contestant he's most similar to, Ben the Marine. He seemed to be a family guy from what I can tell. His inspiration was his grandfather, and his biggest accomplishment is his two sons. He claims to know how to build alliances and build challenge and win challenges, which I thought was perhaps the most basic thing to say.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I know how to build alliances and win challenges, so that's why I'm gonna win Survivor. That's what I'm gonna do. Why am I giving this Canadian guy a New York accent? What am I doing? All right, but doesn't he look like he could have a New York accent?
Yeah, but it's a little bit painful when people are like, it's just about Survivor's just about winning challenges and having a solid alliance. And like I'm gonna rant a little bit here. I'm gonna warn you. Like I watch Australian Survivor, and the big problem with the Australian Survivor fan base is that they don't understand that just because you're a good-natured person does not mean that you deserve to win Survivor.
They don't understand that in Australia?
No, well, no, I wouldn't say in Australia. I would say the Australian Survivor fan base specifically. I don't want to make a generalization about Australia because that's not true at all.
We are generalizing all of Australia. All of my one person from Australia that watches this.
But the winner of the most recent season was just announced today, actually. And a lot of people were upset because out of the final four, there were two people who were way more deserving, and they got third and fourth. And they were like, oh, they didn't deserve to win because they didn't do as much. I'm like, it doesn't matter if they didn't do as much as people who got third and fourth. What matters is if you get to the end, you need to be able to say that I played the best game out of the people that are here with me.
Yep.
And that does not mean that you are necessarily the most likable person. Yes, that definitely helps, but it's more along the lines of making sure that your social game was really good and your strategic game was well balanced. You don't necessarily need to win challenges. I mean, the person who won this season won the final three immunity, and that was the only immunity they won. So it's like
that's all you need.
Yeah, that's all you need sometimes. So it's insane. Like that's kind of what I'm feeling like when I see this. So I hope that's wrong, but it's just I just don't like it when people come in and I'm like, oh, the only thing I need to do is make sure I have a solid alliance and that I have to win challenges. No, that's not everything Survivor is. Sorry.
Right.
So.
I don't think I even said what his favorite contestant. Oh no, yeah, Ben.
Ben, yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. It might mean that he'll look for idols. You tend to emulate the people that you think you're most similar to. So you could have that going for him.
Yeah.
And he is a former NHL, so he could be decent at physical challenges despite his age. He is 60. I don't know. He could be an easy early boot. It's very possible. He might find it hard to relate to more of the younger contestants.
Yeah.
But if he's a good-natured guy and he's easy to get along with, a lot of times those people end up making it really, really far. So really, it all really depends. If he's not a nuisance, competition-wise early on. And if he's not annoying,
he's fit for his age, so I think he'll be fine and an asset. So I don't think he's gonna be first boot. I don't think he's gonna be. He might be an early boot, but I don't think he's gonna be first unless of course he is just absolutely grating to live with. But
this tribe is very physical, so I'd be very surprised if they lost the first one.
Yeah, so for all we know, it could be a purely mental first immunity challenge, but typically the first one is all about teamwork. So,
It's probably gonna be a nice mix because you have because of the mentors. And they're like comparisons to one another. Rob's physical, Sandra's like very methodical.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be a nice mix. All right, so let's get to our next contestants. We have our boy Aaron Meredith. He is 36 years old. He's from Warwick, Rhode Island. He is a gym owner. He's a track. I wasn't really a fan of this guy. He was a. He's, this is why I don't like this guy. He describes himself as attractive, intelligent, and strong. Like, why? Why would you describe yourself as three of the most basic things ever, man? All right. Anyway, but nevertheless, he dislikes lazy people. Gym owner makes sense. He is a family guy based on what I read, so with that I figured that he could get along with Tom, possibly. Contestant he's most like, and I know this is your favorite, Nate, Ozzy. Let's get that facial reaction, like the cringe on your face. He thinks he's a physical threat, so he knows he has to build connections,
which is correct, and granted, here's the thing. One thing that I will say about Ozzy is that Ozzy did adapt to Modern Survivor fairly well for someone who was more of an older age type of player. Because if you compare him to, if you saw Ozzy from his transformation from season 13 all the way to season 34, he's a very different player. You could almost say he's a different person, because in his original season, he's extremely cocky. He knows he's all that. And especially in season 16, where he is just an absolute egomaniac. But if you saw
he got showed the door in season 16 though.
Oh, big time. And then he learned nothing from that in 23, where he came back, and
he really didn't.
He really didn't. And I think finally when they brought him back a few years later for 34, I think it finally got into his head like, hey, I have a social game that I need to work on. So
in his defense in 23, he didn't have to.
Yeah. That granted that Redemption Island was practically built for Ozzy, but
absolutely.
But it's just 34. I think strategically it showed that he knew how to adapt. So, if he's comparing himself to Ozzy in modern age, that is a lot better than Ozzy in 16 and 23. I think that I'm glad to see that he's aware. One thing that does give me confidence is that he said he once owned a kettle corn business, and that he went up and down East Coast popping popcorn at fairs. That shows that he's a hustler, and I tend to give more points in favor to people who are like that, because they do not care how much it takes. They will do whatever it takes. Yeah. So they have more, I wouldn't say desperation, they have more determination than other people.
Though I do wish he used his words a little better, at least when describing himself. Because just saying you're attractive, strong, and intelligent doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I mean,
it's on descriptions.
It looks like he's married, because I think he has a finger on his ring. But that might be, he might not have wrote.
He has a finger on his ring.
he
Write that down.
He landed somebody, so hey, someone finds him attractive.
He's not a bad-looking guy.
No, he's not. I'm joking, but the thing is that he
does describe himself as attractive.
He's self-aware enough that he understands that just winning challenges and being physically fit is not going to win him Survivor.
That's true.
So that gives me some more points. I am scared for him, because it's I feel like the moment he lets his guard down pre-merge, he's asking for a blindside. So that is kind of what it is. I feel like he's going to be way more on edge if he makes it to the merge and the individual phase, if he were to make it there. But he should watch out pre-merge, because that's probably going to be when he's really tested the most.
Yeah, so he might be in a power position early on. It's very possible it might be the forefront of a big alliance or something along those lines. And that could either bite him, or it could get him to merge, where then it could bite him. All right, let's get to our next contestant. We have our man Vince. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Moa. He's from.
I guess.
we are not known for our pronunciations here at Reality Room Podcast. Since the ye old days. He is 27 years old. He's from Palo Alto, California. He is an admissions counselor. He describes himself as being shamelessly me, quick-witted, and not afraid to flip tables. See, that's unique. I like that.
Yeah.
Survivor contestants he's most like. He claims to be an original himself, but if he has to choose, which I thought was a little cocky, he says Shi An Huang, Suri, and Natalie Anderson.
Okay.
He
knows his stuff.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, he's a fan of the show. He is here to show minority folk that they matter. Direct quote. And he is a child of a Vietnamese refugee. He wrote a lot.
Yes.
Like an annoyingly large amount. And that is the only reason I don't like this guy.
Not as much as Keith. But from last season, but still quite a bit. However, I would put more stock in Vince than I would ever put in Keith. Just because.
Well, we know where Keith went.
Yeah.
I would expect that.
Yes. But like, here's the thing: if you're an admissions counselor, I used to work in admissions. You're basically a glorified salesperson for a college. Like you're literally, you are every day a salesperson. You're trying to act like you're everybody's best friend, and it can come off as a little fake sometimes if you're not always good at it.
What? Fake?
Yeah. I wouldn't call him fake. We don't know what like, obviously I have no idea how good he is at his job, but he
seems he does seem real to me. Like, I think he's gonna do fine on that front. He's very honest and forefront with his views. In his long writing, it's just, again, it's almost oversharing a little bit. It's bridging into that. Yeah.
And it's, I don't know. Like, I'm, mind you, for those of you who have not seen me on this before, I'm very harsh. So but I don't know how I feel about him. It's like I want him to do well.
I don't like him because he made me read too much. I'm sorry, Vince. I hope maybe you'll change my mind in the show. But man, the reading was,
If this was someone that, like, if I were to be a cast member on Survivor and I got like all of these files of everyone and this is what I saw, he would not be someone I would want to align with, just because it just feels like he might overshare.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna talk too much, and because this, sometimes you see someone who writes a lot and you're like, oh, they might be introverted, so they just write a lot. No, this guy, you can tell, big, like, very large amount of energy, extroverted. He's gonna talk too much in the game. I feel like that a lot of times gets on people's nerves, like just over talking.
He might not be extroverted. He might be an introvert that's used to being around people. I work at McDonald's. I'm a manager, so like, I'm an introvert that's used to working around other people and a lot of different people. So like, I hope he's more of an extrovert than an introvert who's used to being around more like people. Like I feel like being a pure extrovert would be just more natural. So that's my hope for him.
Fair enough. All right, let's get to our next contestant. Maybe we'll go a little quicker now because it's already been 40 minutes.
I'm sorry. That's my fault.
I don't know when to move on either.
I'm sorry. I'm like Vince. I talk too much.
All right, let's get to Karishma Patel. She is 37. I like when you talk a lot. I'll just interrupt you more. She's from Houston. She is a personal injury lawyer. She describes herself as being reliable, impulsive, and charismatic. She took and passed 3 state bar exams on the first try. Very impressive. Contestant she's most similar to, Natalie Anderson, which very similar to Vince, so they could potentially get along. And she believes her job trained her how to win and is hungry to do it. Nate, thoughts? Dun 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 dun.
Okay, so I'm just like kind of going over everything at the moment because there's a lot to dissect here, but not too much. So that's the good thing about it. So she knows how to like talk about herself. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Texas. That's an interesting combination of like places you would get a bar. Just because I feel like I feel like she would make more money in Florida. But these three are good choices to on top of that. But just because like I know I have family members in law, so like this is I'm aware of where if you're a lawyer, you are able to make more money.
What places were they?
Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Texas. And those are definitely good choices.
Texas is interesting.
Texas, there's a lot of jobs there, so that might be why. But New Jersey, yeah. So
it always comes down to jobs.
Yeah, there's a lot of and also ease of living is pretty high in Texas, so it's fairly cheaper there.
And low taxes.
Yep.
But I'm from New York, guys.
New Jersey, I think that means she can work out of state. Yeah, sorry, like I'm just dissecting it a little.
All right, I'll say some of my thoughts. I
hope she's not Aurora.
I don't think she's gonna be Aurora. Although I did like Aurora's tenacity. Yeah. So if she has that tenacity, I don't mind it.
Oh, I think she does.
Yeah, she can tell she's hungry. She
I feel like I was born to play this game as a dead giveaway to her tenacity.
Yeah, she's definitely she's well grounded. She's definitely intelligent. Now here's the thing: is it more? A lot of times you see like these people who are very, very academic, but is it just pure book smart, or does she have the street smart too? Like you can't immediately tell from the way she's writing. We know she's hungry and wants to grab it, and that could be that's a sign of that's a competitive nature too. By the way,
yes,
which also makes sense.
It's competitive. It's not necessarily social.
Yeah.
But her pet peeves are party poopers and girls who play dumb for attention. So like I like that. So
yeah. And there's actually not a lot of like super pretty ditzy girls this season.
She's gonna be entertaining for sure because she's a lot of pet peeves. So like I really hope we kind of get to see that side of her. She doesn't like mansplaining, passive aggressive behavior. Oh, she would hate me. And PDA. Okay, I can understand that. But
what I like about her is she says she's impulsive. I love that because I'm impulsive. so
like literally, if one person talks down to her, she's gonna be like, "I need to get this bitch out." Like that's literally what her thing is.
That's exactly what she needs to do.
Yeah, so she's gonna be entertaining. Like even if she's only on for one episode, I feel like we're gonna get a good sense of who she is. So.
Yeah, she's gonna be fun, and
she's from Philly, so that explains why she got a Pennsylvania and New Jersey bar exam. So that okay.
I hope she's not too outspoken where she ends up. Putting a target on her back immediately. I'm
have another tri-stater in there.
I'm gonna go off a limb and say that she's gonna make merge.
Yes, it's either she's gonna get herself into trouble very early, or she's gonna be smart and play it out later. So that's.
But she will get it. But she will get into trouble.
100%, she's gonna get into trouble at some point. So I think that's a safe bet.
Hey,
she's from Philly. Hey, another tri-stater. Let's go.
Here we have our next contestant. We have Elaine Stott. She is 41. She's from Rockhold. She lives in Rockhold, Kentucky. She is a factory worker. She describes herself as being independent, stubborn, and kind. She doesn't like people who think their shit don't stink. Like that. She took care of various people in her family during very tough times. She goes into detail about that in her description. Contestant she's most like Rupert, which I thought was an interesting choice. Also, you can tell she's a fan. She thinks people will overlook and underestimate her. Wants to prove them wrong. Thoughts?
So we have Lauren 2.0.
Yeah.
No one remembers Lauren. All right, Lauren was amazing.
Which season was
that? So Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers.
Oh, I remember her, but she was
a good player. She was good for someone who had no idea what the show was. She was a good player.
She moved far.
Yeah, she made 7th place, I believe. I think, right? Yeah, 7th.
So,
So, and she did it to herself. She overplayed, overextended. So, and I think that just was because she was a non-fan playing with super
but
fans.
back to Elaine.
Yeah. So, um, Elaine is interesting. I hope she does okay. I think she's an interesting person. She's definitely different than the survivor mold that we're used to. She's a tough woman who's not like I don't want to say like she's not like feminazi style tough woman. She's not that. I don't think. So
She is traditional tough woman.
yes, yes,
Basically, she's like Rosie the Riveter
yeah.
type.
And I like those types of players because they
Oh
just
yeah, I
bring a
love it.
different they bring a different feel to the cast. Like I like Twyla, for example, and Survivor what's it called? Survivor Vanuatu. A lot of people still love Twyla. So it's just I think I want her to do well. That's the thing. So it's just because I find her probably one of the most interesting cast members we've seen.
Yeah, I do like her, but again, it's gonna be tough. Some people she might not relate to the other cast members. It's possible she's also 41, so
Yeah.
there is a
But
slight age
Lauren
difference.
was older than her entire tribe, so and she made it far. So like
Yeah,
I don't think that's necessarily deterrent. 41 is still definitely someone who can relate to the younger crowd. It's or like maybe you're 61, you can still relate to someone who's in the younger crowd. It's just your whole approach. So I think
she and he's gone. So yeah, I think she is like she is to me she is like a younger Lauren. So that could be something that's very interesting. Um,
how old was Lauren? Hold on, I'm gonna look this up.
she I think she was like 50. She was pretty old. I
No,
think
I don't think she was that old.
maybe upper 40s. All
Mm,
right, you look that
yeah,
up. But yeah, I want her to get far too. But again, she could be an easy target early on. It is possible. I know Lauren was targeted early on in that
yeah,
same
she
season,
was,
but
and
she was able
she
to
made it through.
persevere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she,
but
she fought to stay in.
you know, sometimes it's luck. Sometimes things work out. She's gonna be like a straight shooter type of player,
Yes.
and I like that. And if she describes herself as being Rupert, then yeah, definitely straight shooter, easygoing, but somehow strong like convictions. If she wants someone out, she will try to get them out. If she's like, Rupert.
Lauren was younger than Elaine, actually. So
What?
she was 4 years younger at the time of playing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss. Well, interesting. All right.
She acted older for her age, I would say, but
Yeah, she was. She was.
she seemed more experienced in life, I think, than what her age showed.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what I'm thinking.
So, yeah, but no,
Yeah.
I'm excited for Elaine. I think she'll be cool.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens with her. Let's talk about Chelsea Walker, who is our last member of this tribe. She is 26 years old. She's from Los Angeles. She's a digital content creator. If that's not modern, who knows what is? She is driven, competitive, and scrappy. I like that word. I like scrappy. That's a great descriptor.
Yeah.
She has been applying for Survivor ever since she was 21, so 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
She makes some Seinfeld and Curb references in her description, which I think is pretty good. Her contestant she's most like Parvati and Wentworth. She's real fan, wants to show up and win, knows what it's like living on the bottom and climbing up. She seems to like really put a lot of stock in the fact that she's like applied a lot and she's a big fan of the show. Not a lot about directly her. Although all we do know is that she likes Seinfeld, which Seinfeld
I mean, like, who in New Jersey doesn't like Seinfeld? By the way, she's from Marlton. That's the same town I work in. I could even tell you probably what high school she went to.
That would be a little creepy, so don't do that.
No, I'm not saying out loud. Like,
but she's in LA now. She's in
LA now. But Chelsea, I'm rooting for. Obviously, I'm gonna root for people who are from the tri-state area just because it's where I'm from. But here's the thing. One thing that I do appreciate, like, one, she's fans of Parvati and Kelly Wentworth. great. Like they're two very recent or iconic Survivor
Parvati
players.
is not recent.
She's not recent, but she's iconic. And
Yeah.
I think, but she dissects why she's similar to them and why she can take what she learned from their games. And I find that incredibly more interesting than someone who just says, "Yeah, I'm similar to them because of these personality traits."
Well, describe what she says because I didn't write that part down.
So Parvati, she said, played a very unassuming, like social flirty game, and it just establishes herself in power. Kelly plays very sneaky, like threatening and aggressively. So whereas Parvati's less aggressive, so like that's a very weird dichotomy to say. Like I want to be unsuspecting but aggressive. So that's definitely a different take on the game. I hope that she makes it work because that's definitely a difficult balance to pull off. But
I agree.
That'll be I'm rooting for her simply because home area. Let's go.
I like her because she's a fan. I wish she put less stock in that and talked more about herself rather than the fact that she's a fan. But it's okay.
Yeah.
I think she has a good understanding of the game, a good grasp of it. Again, that doesn't always mean that players go far because they have a good grasp of the game. Just because you watch the show doesn't mean you'll be good at it, but it's at least a better. And
she's a hustler. I could telling me she's from Jersey already makes me think that she's a hustler. But why do you think you'll survive Survivor? That's probably the most descriptive part of her personality you're going to see. So based off of this, other than the fact that she faced rejection after rejection, I think that just feeds into her personality where it's like I ain't giving up. This is my time. So I'm excited for her. I really hope she does well. I really do.
She's gonna make the most out of it no matter what. That's what I see from her, and that's.
I do have to say, to make a reference to earlier in this discussion, she reminds me of Allie from Kaoh Rong, though. So,
okay. Fair enough.
Not a bad comparison.
No, it's not a bad comparison. All right, let's get to finally the next tribe. I forgot what they're called too. It's the purple one. Do you remember?
Okay.
Lokai, whatever. Here is Lauren Beck on that tribe. She is 28 years old from Glendale, California. Well, she lives in Glendale, California. She is a nanny. She is bubbly, adaptable, and diligent. Contestants she's most like Troyzan, because they're both hot, apparently. Sari for social game, and Sandra, because she's cutthroat. She loves to connect with people and has the physical and mental capability to take her to the end. Thoughts?
She's funny. I like her.
I like the Troyzan thing. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a bit of a throw off, but it's funny, and that gives me more confidence in her because it looks like she's able to laugh at herself. Mm-hmm. And I think that's an extremely important trait to have whenever you play these games, because if you take yourself too seriously, you're gonna get picked off. If you treat it like a job, you're going to get picked off. But if you treat it as a game, you're more likely to do better just because it is a game. You're being the most realistic out of everyone there.
Right.
So I think that she is. I'm excited to see what she'll do.
I'm hyped for her. I'm hyped for her and the next contestant. But let's focus on Lauren right now.
Yeah.
Man, it's hard. I can't even put it into words. I just have a good feeling,
Yeah.
It's strange to have that. I don't usually have this about players, except for
she has a great smile. She looks just based off her picture, she looks relaxed, Yeah. Whereas everyone else looks like they're either trying to show off or they're a little nervous. She looks comfortable. It's just. And comfortable, not as in homey, comfortable, she is in her setting. This is what she was made.
And she was the one who described her, who said Sandra. So that's one of the reasons why she's here.
Yeah.
So which is good. So she, I don't know who's attributed to which tribe.
Yeah.
But
we'll see.
Do you know? I don't actually know.
I don't actually know either. So they probably. I don't really. It doesn't really matter to me. Quite honestly, I'm not a big fan of the twist in general. But this is not the time for that.
We'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
Layla in the chat says, "So happy Survivor is back. Love listening to you guys."
Well, I'm glad someone is glad.
And we love speaking for you, lady.
Yes. I'm glad someone appreciates how harsh I can be.
We glad someone appreciates our hard work and dedication. But yeah, I think we both think Lauren will get far, and
Yeah.
So let's
I
see what
hope.
happens.
Well, I hope she gets far. That's my thing. I want to see her do well. I think she's going to be a likable person for our fans in general.
I agree with that. All right, let's get to our next contestant. Who should I say is my favorite? I'll say is my favorite. Why not? This is Molly Byman. She is 27. She lives in Durham, North Carolina. She is a law student. She is competitive, resilient, and vibrant. Contestants most like Parvati and Wendell. She likes playing board games, which is one of the reasons I like her a lot. So if she plays the board games I play, she's definitely like strategic. And she can read tarot cards. I love tarot cards. Love this girl. She taught middle school for 5 years. And can fit in anywhere and can be extremely adaptable. Finally, someone says it, and wants to utilize the subtle power of persuasion. Thoughts, Nate?
I can see why you like her. She's
great.
She's probably the most interesting person that we've had so far, on paper. I think, in terms of who we've discussed, I think I think she's got a lot of life experience with a little bit of crazy. So I'm excited to see what she'll do. So it'll be fun to see what she does.
I literally wrote after she said the board game things. I wrote Schwerd because I was like, yeah, man. One other person on this tribe likes board games too, actually.
Yeah.
So they could relate on that.
She does give me Haley vibes, which is good. That's a good thing. Haley is probably one of the better players to not do well, I think, was a good way of putting it. Haley's a very good player in a vacuum, but she just hasn't had great luck, I think. But I like her. I like why she can. Another person why I think she is. Well, one thing that I really like, she allowed herself to be grouped into a dumb girl alliance. I love that. That is so good. That is such a good thing to rip from Parvati's game, and it's just one of the best things Parvati did was pretend she was stupid as hell. That was, that's fantastic. Yeah,
it worked out.
So and it worked out for her. I like it. I like her. I think she's good. I hope she does well. I can tell she's gonna be entertaining. I like her hair.
Yeah, her hair looks fun. And she just looks like she's gonna be entertaining to watch, like you said. And the board games, man, and adaptable. She's adaptable. That's what we need. People who
seems like she's gonna have a wild ride, and I'm excited.
Wild ride. That's a interesting way to put it.
No. She's gonna have a wild ride.
Oh, okay. That's still an interesting way to put it.
Not gonna be. No, that's a completely different connotation.
I didn't think you said gonna be. I thought you said.
Yeah, no. No. I think she'll have fun, and I think a lot of people will have fun watching her. So.
I think a lot of people. She's just saying weird things now. That's fine.
Shut up.
Hey guys, everyone's gonna have a lot of fun watching her.
All right.
Here is. All right. Here is Janet Carbon. She is 59 years old. She is from Palm Bay, Florida. She is a chief lifeguard. She is aggressive, enthusiastic, and vivacious. Contestant most like Stephanie with an E. Dislikes laziness and being wasteful. Believes she is physical and social enough to win, which was a little basic, but that's fine.
Yeah. She's a super fan. Not many people remember Stephanie LaGrossa. Stephanie's one of my favorites, but regardless. She's gonna get grouped into the mom territory so fast.
Yep, she's gonna be Greem, or what was her name?
Reem, yeah. Reem, and yeah. That's a shame, because Reem was not a motherly character. She had motherly qualities, but she was not the mom at all.
Yeah, she took no shit.
Yeah. So I think it is. Oh, but she's from Jersey. Hi. Hello. So another person I'm adding to my root list, but no, she is.
But she lives in Florida.
She lives in Florida. Interesting choice to move from Jersey to Florida. You went from a shithole to another shithole.
I think it's a very predictable thing to do.
That's fair. But
it would be like if I moved to Jersey from Staten Island.
I have a feeling she's going to be Reem, but with a little bit of a softer side, which I hope is the case because
she looks nice.
I hope she has. I hope she is Reem with a softer side because Reem's worst flaw was that she just couldn't fit in because of how much she just didn't take shit from people, and I feel like Janet is she gives me the feeling that she is going to be a bit better at accepting criticism, even if it's not supposed to be criticism, and making it seem like that it's okay.
Maybe. I still think an early boot though, because it's really hard to get past the age gap,
especially when your tribe is not as strong looking on paper as the other one. So like, am I fearful for her? Yeah. Do I hope she does well despite that? Yes. So the good news is that she's a lifeguard, so like she knows how to swim. That's good for very early challenges.
And if anyone has any trouble, she can just rush in and rescue them.
So that gives me some confidence that she'll stick around, and I hope that's the case because we do like older women don't do well in Survivor. It's just statistically like not good. Granted, like a lot of usually older women are not cast as often as younger women, which is.
We want the old women season. Only old women.
That was Nicaragua. And they killed it. They honestly, the old women in Nicaragua, they were a fierce bunch. They were probably some of the best female players that we had in one season. So that was, but I hope she does well. I really do.
And I think she will do well. No, I don't think that. Why did I say that? I was trying to I was trying to do a segue.
$5 right now. Bet it on the table.
She will not do well. Here's our next contestant. We have Kelly Kim. She is 29 years old. She lives in Philadelphia. She is an MBA student. She's described herself as being fun, energetic, and driven. Contestant she's most like, Wentworth. She played for Harvard varsity soccer in the past. She likes Settlers of Catan, which is why I think she could very well get along with Molly, who's also into like board game types things. Mm-hmm. And she claims with a pinch of luck and a good meat shield, she will win. See, I like her too. Yeah. I like people who are like, hey man, like, you know, it's luck. Sometimes it's luck based. I know I need like someone in front of me to get me to the end. Like, she's self-aware.
She's self-aware and she's aware of the situation she's in, which is good. That's I like her. I agree with you. I think she's and she currently lives in Philly.
This is a northeast based cast.
Yeah, like, this is that is nuts how many people they have that are either currently living in the tri-state area or are from the tri-state area. So I think it's fairly likely that someone from the tri-state area will win another season of Survivor.
Maybe it's because they're kind of close to Boston, Rob. I don't know, maybe, but I don't think this is going to be his tribe, so who knows.
No, I don't think so. I think this is going to be Sandra's tribe, to be honest. But
I think so,
because Boston Rob was on an orange tribe in the past, so they may try to make that into a thing. Who knows? But that was the.
But he was also on a purple tribe in the past. His first tribe, I believe, was purple.
I think it was blue, actually.
Was it? I have to look back.
Yeah, I think it was blue.
No, it was purple. I remember because I watched.
I thought our cases were blue and yellow.
Was it? We're both gonna look this up right now.
I'm pretty sure I was right on this.
Oh, shut up! Survivor genius.
Yeah, he was on yellow. He was on yellow.
He was on yellow. Oh man.
And blue was the other one. So I think he swapped at some point. So he was blue and yellow the first time around.
How do you know this stuff?
Hell yeah!
He's so proud, but deservingly so. All right, so I guess we're done with Kelly. I mean, I think she's gonna make it far, and I'm excited to see her play because I noticed that the people who said they played like board games and stuff like that, just tend to have good strategies. I wonder what the connection is.
Yeah.
It's almost like they played games where you have to lie to people before, and they know you can't just do one thing every single time. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, and you can have a general like tactic, but like your strategy can change from board game. Like a lot of people underestimate how important board games can be because a lot of them are based off of like technically yes, depending on like how into board games you are. If you're like competitive, that's a different story. But
yeah, well, I'm very competitive.
But, like there is competitive board gamers, but like if you're playing more of a social thing, like your social capital in a board game is definitely very useful. Like it's almost like if you're familiar with the challenge, like it's almost kind of like that where you build social capital over time with people. And like yes, this is my resume. I'm very truthful with people. Or this is my resume. I will only play for myself. I do not care about helping out anyone else. In fact, don't trust me ever. So it is just it's interesting. So it'll be interesting to see how she does. I have confidence in her.
Yeah, and I just want to say this point before getting on to our next contestant. But the way to play board games, at least this is how I play, is to know. Again, this is something like if you're doing like Survivor or something like this is something days down in advance. Is to kind of know the people you're playing with, so you know who to go to about certain things. It's like one of those things. That's something you pick up, and in a Survivor game you can pick up after like if you make it like pretty far, you can be able to do that with the contestants.
Yeah.
So here we go with our next contestant. We have Jason Linden. He is 32 years old. He lives in New York City. He is a personal injury lawyer, which I think we had another lawyer on the list.
Yeah, we had another personal, actually exactly a personal injury lawyer.
Also on this tribe too. He is charismatic, determined, and direct. I like when people say they're direct. Very nice.
Yeah.
He has his own law firm. He's contestant. He's most like, basically said 30 people. Fishback, Klein, Cochran, Sestorino, a little Tony. Like, I mean, pick one or two, man. That's a little.
I have my opinion on that, but like, continue.
Thinks he will easily be able to build relationship with his self-deprecating humor.
Okay. He is Rick Devens 2.0.
No.
I can see it already. It's like I like Rick. Here's the thing.
Rick.
I like Rick.
He's fantastic. Rick, if you're watching this, Rick, we love you.
I love you. I think you're a decent player. I don't think you're the best player of your season, but I think you're a decent player.
You got lucky, but
he got very lucky. Oh my god!
But you're so likable.
He's very charismatic, and oh man, I can just see Survivor just absolutely advertising the shit out of this guy. Like it is gonna
let me make a counter. Yeah. I mean, no one likes lawyers, so
yeah. Well, I mean, I think he's going to be a more likable lawyer. And personal injury is weird. It's a weird thing to like adapt into Survivor play. I'm not saying it's a weird profession. It's a weird thing to adapt into it because it's more along the lines of you have to convince someone that they are owed money and that they deserve something.
Quote from Nate: "Personal injury lawyers are weird."
No, they're not weird. No. Like that is to put it extremely plainly. Like they are trying to convince people that they deserve something. That is literally what it is. Not literally. Again, just figuratively. But it is. I don't know. Like I have confidence he will do well. That let me just say that. I think he will do well.
I like his look. I think this guy, in my opinion, he could be the good-natured asshole too. He's got.
Oh my god,
he could do it.
Do you know who he reminds me of specifically? I'm sorry, I'm going to advertise my own game. Eric Taylor.
Okay. You're right.
For those of you who do not know, I host a game called The System. We have a 2-time player named Eric Taylor who's currently in All Stars at the moment. They have an extremely similar look.
They really do. It's kind of scary. I mean, this guy looks a little more together than he does, but he's also older, I think. How old is he? Yeah, he's like 32.
Yeah, I think he's. I think Jason's a little older than Eric. I'm not quite sure. I think that is correct though.
I would guess Eric.
Eric Taylor, if you're also not aware, also played Sequester Black Hat, which is hosted by Audrey Middleton from Big Brother. But
oh, did he really?
Yeah.
I didn't watch that one.
He didn't. He did okay. I believe he was out in the pre-jury, but he
didn't do okay. Sorry, Eric, if you're watching.
But their jury started very late that game, so it was like final. Like there were 24 people or something like ridiculous, and didn't start until like final 9.
That sounds like what?
Yeah. So that's that. They had it. They started it very late. He was out around the middle, I believe. I think he got like 11th or something. So it was. Yeah. No. Yeah. So now you understand. Like Eric, I love Eric Taylor. I love this guy to death. Like
I think Jason is Eric a good-natured asshole?
He is a little bit of a good-natured asshole, but it's like he is a snake though. He's a snake.
Well, you gotta be a snake in these games.
Yeah.
Like what else would you do?
But the biggest to make the comparison, and I think this is the read that I'm kind of getting off of Jason, is that a lot of people, once they got used to Eric, they realized that Eric was a little slimy in games. That I'm quoting other people, not my quote. I would not describe him as that. But
Eric, I don't watch you. I haven't watched you a lot, so I'm sure you're fine.
But no, Eric he's a very nice, humble dude. But when he's in a game, his personality switches, and he is something else. So it is. But Eric, I can see these two being very similar. Right, and that is so. Eric does do very well. He got 7th place in his original season, and then this time around, I can't really say. I don't want to give any hints, but Eric is an important part of the season, so I will say that.
Okay.
But
let's get to our next contestant. Yeah. Next contestant.
Yeah. So let's move on before
Jack, this is yeah. Before you spoil the season, we have Jack Nishting. He is 23. He lives in Harrisonburg, Virginia. He's a graduate student. Determined dreamer, social. Contestant most like, Devin Pinto. Likes good vibes. Wants to take out anyone who poses a threat. Thoughts?
It reminds me of Fabio, not Devin.
Well,
which is not bad. That's not bad. But God, I don't relate to him at all.
Yeah, me neither.
It's hard to read players like him. I'm confident he'll make merge. Usually his typecast, like he's not Ozzy, Malcolm, like Jay typecast.
He reminds me of
he reminds me more of Jay than he does of Ozzy or Malcolm.
He reminds me of Nick.
Which Nick?
He got the one who got like Final 3 a few seasons ago, or I don't remember his last name. Hold on, let me look him up. You keep talking.
Yeah, I don't know. He's good at soccer. Great. Let me see here. Ultimate free spirit and the definition of a goat, describing his mom. Yeah, he reminds me so much of Jay. Oh my God.
Nick Wilson from David versus Goliath.
Really?
Yeah, to me, I don't know why. I feel like he has I feel like he's gonna talk and it's gonna be very similar voice. Like look-wise, they look very different. But I think personality-wise, I think they have a similar personality.
I'm getting a ton of Jay vibes. I don't know, which makes
he does not look like an asshole though.
Jay wasn't an asshole. He was a mischievous demon.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. He doesn't look like a mischievous demon. He looks like
Jay didn't look like a mischievous demon either. Like going to the season, I thought he was going to be a complete buffoon, but I have to
go back to
Jay ended up being one of my favorites of that season.
Yeah, so, me too. We'd have to go. I'd have to go back to my cast analysis on that.
And Jay is very much he's a very real person. He's been on other shows, but he's very realistic and he's very he's very honest, despite the fact of how mischievous he is and how much you shouldn't trust him in Survivor. But I get very similar vibes. I don't think he's gone through as much in his life as Jay did when Jay played.
Yeah, that's true. He did go through a lot. Hey, I have my Survivor 30. Survivor, what season was this? 33 cast analysis.
Yeah. So I think I don't know. I think he'll make jury. I don't know if he'll do much better than that. We'll see.
Hey, I got 2 likes on this video. Guys, we've been here for 6 seasons, 7 seasons. You know, I have the screen on you. I don't know why I'm doing this. Hey guys, we've been here for so long. This was just me and Chris back then, but you were doing episode recaps. Good times. Yeah. I'm gonna watch it and see what I said about Jay. I don't remember how he described himself.
I was afraid he was. I believe it was we were comparing him to Malcolm and Ozzy. So
right, yeah, probably. All right, so let's get to our next contestant. I think Jack can get far, is what I want to say.
Yes, yeah, I have no doubt he'll make merge. We'll have a good he'll make merge. It's just his type always does. He's useful in the beginning and then becomes mediocre, like threatening, like medium level threat towards the end. So like
absolutely, yeah. He'll grow a group and whatever. All right, next
and he'll be taken out.
Yeah, basically, that's how it goes.
I don't have a lot of confidence he'll win, but he'll get far. He'll be remembered.
All right, so we have our next contestant, Nora Salmon. She is 36 years old. She's from North Potomac, Maryland. She's an entrepreneur, but I'm not sure what kind of entrepreneur she is because I don't think she says. She is ambitious, passionate, and energetic. Contestant she's most similar to, Malcolm. She doesn't like people lacking personal hygiene, which I think is a strange choice for her to go on this show, but there's no showers or whatnot. She claims to be multi-dimensional, jock, nerd, and model, and will use those skills to win the game. So, she's humble, too. She's very humble. So she'll do great.
What do you think? I don't put stock in her, I would say. There's so many things on here that are red flags for someone that is not going to do well.
I'm sure so.
There's a lot of I don't know, it's hard to really pick where to begin rather than like where I see the red flags because it's just so damn many. The first one that stuck out to me was she can't stand being friends with people who are selfish, self-absorbed, or stingy. Well, welcome to Survivor, hun, because that's all the people are in this game.
That's how you cast. That's basically how you do your casting for reality shows.
Yeah. Just she's had life experience, but life experience doesn't mean it's good for Survivor. She's a hustler, so you can tell, she's trying many jobs, different things. It seems like she had wanderlust, which typically someone who's wanderlust in games typically in Survivor does not do well, because they can't be focused on the game.
Right.
So that's my. I don't know. I don't have a lot of confidence. I feel like she's going to be an easy early merge blindside.
She could be, and I didn't really like her that much either, but I thought she was weird. Contestants most like though Malcolm. I thought that was an interesting comparison. Maybe she knows something that she's not writing down.
Yeah,
she doesn't seem like a Malcolm based on how she's writing. But again, this is the writing versus talking situation. So if she is like Malcolm, she could do well because Malcolm was both competitive and good at talking.
She also wrote but underestimated with a low threat factor like Fabio and Judd. Does she realize that Fabio and Judd are the same person?
She does not.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Fabio is his nickname. Judd is his real first name.
Well, Nate, any real Survivor fan knows that it's it's his alter ego. So you would say and.
I think it's a better comparison to compare her to Fabio / Judd rather than Malcolm, simply based off that one statement. Malcolm is. Here's the thing. Malcolm was not good at problem solving, if you remember. He was terrible at it, actually. Yeah. Malcolm is genuinely liked, but he wasn't known for being strong and great at puzzles. He was known for having really good social connections. That was what made Malcolm's game good.
Such a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy and he's very likable. But like the fact of the matter is, Malcolm was not a star at challenges. He was good at teamwork challenges where you only had to do like 1 or 2 roles rather than having to do the entire challenge by yourself. But he's not good at problem solving. Case in point, the double idol play in Final 9 of Survivor Karamoan. Like that was not, he did not think through that well at all. So that was just, yes, it was a big move, but it was not a good decision or a good strategic play. There was way better options that he could have done than take out someone who was just not good at the game like Philip. And on top of that, why reveal you have 2 idols that you can play? That's such a dumbass thing to do. So I don't know. It is
too much on Malcolm. Cut it.
Yeah.
Cut it.
Sorry, but
I think Nora will be an early boot.
Yeah, I would give her up until early merge. I think she's waiting to be blindsided. I think she's gonna think she can trust people and then just get blindsided in a close vote. That is my prediction.
I like that very specific prediction.
Yeah, it's just we've seen these people again and again that think they know what they're walking into and they have no fucking clue. But she's from London, so that's London, Maryland, not London. Misread that, but
I know I did too when I first saw it.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, in England. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't.
Yeah. Oh, she's British. Nope. No.
Here's our next guy who also kind of looks like he's British. we have Tommy Sheehan. He is 20. What?
Sorry, I was gonna make a Ed Sheeran joke because that's what he.
I'll give you time after the description. He's Tommy Sheehan. He's 26. He lives in Long Beach, New York. He's a 4th grade teacher. A lot of people have done teaching on this cast, by the way. I counted at least 3. Also, a lot of people work in schools as well, at least 5. He is outgoing, competitive, and goofy. Contestant most like David Wright, Davey, and Amanda Kimmel. He has a get the job done attitude. He's here to win the million, and that's it. He wants to find idols, lead blindsides, and make big moves. I like him. I like his get it done attitude. So he's gonna have his eye on the prize. He's gonna be focused. He's gonna be like, I hate to make like this. I hate to compare this.
another tri-stater, right?
Yeah, another tri-stater, and I hate to compare this to Big Brother, but he like Mickey has a get it done attitude too.
Yeah. That's not the best comparison. But
no, it's not the best comparison. But it's not the best comparison like person to person wise. But it's the good comparison with like mental like with like what you want. Like Mickey wants to win. Tommy Sheehan wants to win Survivor. He's gonna do what he's got to do. He has to get the done attitude. If he wants someone out, he's gonna try to get them out.
I have no doubt we're going to see him on camera. That's my first thought. Just because he is what Jeff Probst and Mark Burnett Productions, he is exactly what they like, and he's a different look to that type of big player personality.
Tommy, you're a teacher. Like one of those things.
Tommy's a teacher. He's redhead. He's a redhead. So he is different than their typical person they would put in the cast that would be the big player that's out in front. So that is good. That's a good thing.
He's as light as Victoria was last season, so he's probably gonna get very sunburned.
My one thing about him is that I'm getting a sense that he is not fully self-aware. I think he is self-aware to a degree. I just don't.
What makes you say that?
The main thing that stuck out to me was the pinch of Amanda Kimmel's likability. We can tell that he's a super fan because not a lot of people reference Amanda, and she is a very good player. She's statistically one of the best players in Survivor history. But
right.
Amanda shouldn't be known for her likability because she wasn't the most likable person. She was more along the line. She was very strategic. If you actually pay attention to Amanda's plays, and specifically China and Heroes versus Villains, Micronesia, she was a little bit shaky just because she was on the bottom. She was on the wrong end of the votes quite a few times, but like she knew how to put herself back in power. So like I will give her that. But in China and in Heroes versus Villains, she was very keenly aware of what the correct move was at any given point in time. And like for like Todd would not have won that game, would not have won China without Amanda. Like I love Todd, I think he's a fantastic player, but he literally would not have won China without Amanda. So I would say like it's hard.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't have won without a lot of things. He wouldn't have won without without James either.
Yeah, but like I would say that like a lot of the strategic decisions that Todd made were due in part to Amanda being there. So I think, and she did tell him like certain moves. Amanda was the one that said, "Let's take out."
Yeah.
What's his face? The guy you just said.
James.
Yeah, James. Let's take out James. Let's take out. I think her name was Chelsea.
If you're going with likability that season, Todd was more, in my opinion.
Yeah, Amanda was fairly invisible in terms of like edit, but she was. If you actually paid attention to the part she wasn't, she was driving a lot of strategy.
Well, she was, but again,
So I think that is the wrong thing.
But she was likable in 16.
She was, yeah, but that had nothing to do with the fact that she was like a likable personality. That had to do with the fact that she was an underdog for the majority of the merge. So that was the main issue with that.
She was in an interesting situation in 16.
Yeah. She was in power, but she wasn't. So it was weird. Like
she was in power. No, she was in power. She didn't want to be in power with those people. It was such a fun. That's such a fun little thing.
She was on the bottom of the alliance that was in power, which isn't necessarily wrong, especially if you know that you're in that position, and do something about it, like she did do. But like that's literally what made her likable, because she was an underdog.
Yeah.
So like, and underdogs automatically have like ability status. I mean, like Russell Hands, he's an asshole, but people love him in Samoa. So like that.
Yeah, like, he is an underdog.
Yeah. So
all right. So back to Tommy.
So
Tommy.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a bit of a tangent, but that's like what I'm reading off of him, and that's like the main red flag I'm seeing about him.
Red flag.
Generally speaking, though, I think he's going to be entertaining, and I think he's going to be very out there. So like in terms of like,
I like him. Yeah. He's gonna make it far, and
he's either gonna make it far, or he's gonna go down in a burning sea of flames. Yeah, but either way, it's gonna be.
But if he goes down, it's gonna be because he's not gonna be upset about it. You know what I mean?
No, if he goes down, he's overplaying. That's literally what it's gonna be.
He's gonna own it, whatever it is. Yeah. All right, let's get to our next contestant. And you said that he was one of your early favorites.
Yeah.
We have our guy Jamal.
I would say I found him interesting. Not that he was an early favorite.
To me, interesting means favorites. Because you gotta make a stand somewhere in reality shows.
Jersey City.
He lives in Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
He's an admissions counselor for K-12, so a person who works at a school, or has worked at a school, but this guy in this case does. He is balanced, inquisitive, and present. I thought present was a very good descriptor. He's very proud of his educational path that led him to an Ivy League school. He did a lot of. He talked about how his educational thing started from when he was very young and led to him going to the Ivy League school.
Yeah.
Barack Obama is his inspiration. Contestant he's most like: Jeremy, Wendell, Officer Sarah, and Christian. Thoughts?
Yeah. He says he relates them, which is, I think that's a little bit more aware than saying I am like them, which is good.
That's not the question, though.
I'm sorry?
That's not the question they asked, though. They
it's not. It's not the question that he asked, but it's a really good way of answering the question without actually answering the question, which is good.
That's fair.
I like that. That's something I do like. I find him interesting. I did see his video on Twitter.
Okay, you found a video on Twitter. Tell us. Share it with the masses.
So in that, he doesn't describe himself as a college administrator. He describes himself as an admissions person. So salesman.
Yeah, admissions. He's an admissions counselor.
So he's a salesman. I think he's a lot more relatable than Vince, though. Who is the other college admissions rep. So I think I like again like another person from the tri-state area, which is fantastic. Man, he is. Yeah, I like.
Everyone's in the tri-state.
I
Everyone.
I know it's insane. Like we are getting like it's either New England or we got like one person from outside of like that wasn't at least born or lives in New England or the tri-state area, and I think that's just
What is this like colonial America? Everyone's from the fucking East Coast. It's
yeah.
crazy.
So, like, is this Survivor Pittsburgh? Shout out, but like, is this Survivor Pittsburgh?
Shout out. I don't know what that is. But shout out.
It's an online. It's a live reality game, kind of like Survivor Real Foot. For those of you who know what that is, they just wrapped up filming this past week. So, and I know who people are in there, but
congrats to whoever won.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But I like him. It sounds like he's very careful with what he says.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about him, honestly.
Yeah. He's a question mark. It's either he's going to relate to people or he's not going to relate to people at all.
Sorry, shit keeps opening up on my screen.
Yeah.
Sorry you guys see my friends sign in on Steam and also Windows Defender trying to defend my computer. Sorry about that, people who are watching at home. Yeah, I don't know what to think of Jamal. I don't know if he's gonna make it far. I really didn't. He didn't write a lot. So you said
no, but no.
Some stuff on Twitter.
If you read it like he didn't write a lot, but what he did write
had content. Okay,
yes,
I see what you're saying.
And that's better than someone who writes too much or someone that writes too little. It was like the perfect amount. He knew what he was saying. He said it succinctly. That's why I'm saying like he's very careful with what he says.
I get it.
So I would put a lot of stock in Jamal. Honestly, I don't want to say he's my winner pick, but like I have a feeling he will do very well.
I love your phrase. Put stock in. I love it. Ugh.
Yeah.
All right. No, I do. I love it.
All right.
Now
we're gonna I know why. Because you're near New York.
That's not why. All right, we're gonna get on to our next contestant. Dan, what's being from New York would we have to do with stocks other than the Wall Street? I mean, I'm never near Wall Street. I work in Midtown. So this is Dan Spilo. I actually like this guy a lot because he is 48 years old. He lives in Los Angeles, and he's a talent manager. For those who don't know, I am a talent management assistant. So me and him have very similar careers. So he could describe himself as being hardworking, articulate, and charming. Contestants most like, and here's another long list: Crowley, Kwan, Westman, Boston Rob, and Cochran. So he's a fan of the show. Says he knows some good old faces.
Bob Crowley's an interesting comparison, but continue.
Yeah. He knows what people need and how to make them feel good, and that's how he's going to get far in this game. Thoughts, Nate?
Another tri-stater, Jesus.
Well, he's from New York, but he lives in LA now.
Yeah, but I feel like that's, I don't know, like it's just insane. Like they literally just said, okay, we're gonna go to the tri-state area and find everyone that we like there, and that's it. So
he again.
I know. Yeah. Like obviously these people aren't living currently in that area, but it's insanity.
And what about that one player from Kentucky, Nate? You completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I know, but like it's like, oh, we gotta find somebody to shake it up a little bit. Like that's
honestly,
we have like no one from the Midwest. Like that's insane to me.
Big Brother too had a lot of like East Coasters. Yeah, that was it. Just interesting. Tri-staters. Yeah.
I like the fact that he doesn't have a hero in his life. Like that's different. Like. That's more unique than someone saying that, like, oh yeah, like some obscure person. So I appreciate that. It's interesting this is Bob Crowley because Bob Crowley is not a fan favorite at all. So like,
also means that maybe he's more self-aware.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling. What was his face from last season?
I actually have an interesting.
The older gentleman who got blindsided, wearing yellow and like weird white pants.
I did not remember. That was.
It was during the round. It was one of the crazy blindsides.
I got to be honest with you. I barely remember last season anymore. That's probably not a good. It's probably not a good sign.
No, that's probably a good thing. Edge of Extinction is probably a good season to forget.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. No, I don't even remember who won anymore. What the hell? It's so weird.
Yeah.
Who won?
Chris
Oh,
won,
yeah, that's right. Right, because he played the perfect game.
Ron Clark. That's who I'm thinking.
Oh, I love Ron.
Yeah, Dan reminds me of Ron.
I don't.
So
he could be. I think you're right. I think you're right. He could pull that. Talent. Being a talent manager, you have to be good at working with people. Like good motivation. Good at like pitching. Good at marketing, because a lot of it is marketing actors. So he's gonna be good at talking to people. I feel.
And he doesn't have a Hollywood smile either, which is good. Like,
no, and most managers don't. He's probably not like a big time manager. Probably just
Yeah.
Or he could be, for all we know. I could Google him right now. I can.
But like, and for those of you who are like Hollywood smile, like I'm thinking of like what's his face, what's it? Mission Impossible. Like I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. The Godfather. He's like one of the most well-known actors. Damn it. But no, like
I ain't happen to hear.
Yeah, someone who has like just a perfect smile, and like it, like you're used to Tom Cruise, like that type of smile. That's
smile. Paul Marino.
Yeah. So but yeah, no, that's kind of like what I'm trying to say.
I get what
like
you're saying.
he seems more real, more realistic of a person.
Yeah, I mean he's not an actor; he's a manager. Like actors.
But he doesn't have the salesman smile. That's not what it looks like. He seems genuine. So, in fact, I would wager he looks like he doesn't smile much. So that's my read on him. But like,
that's fine.
So I actually would enjoy. I hope he sticks around. He is an older gentleman, so that might not happen. But like, this is a good cast, honestly.
Yeah,
like,
it's very impressive. I like it. It's a shame that they had to do a twist like this to potentially,
It wasn't necessary. Like, let the cast shine, CBS. Like, you do not need.
Also, considering what they're doing, season 40, this is exceedingly unnecessary.
Yeah, and we can get like, but yeah, no. Are we going into season 40 real quick?
We can talk about it for 2 minutes. I'm gonna time us, and then we'll say our winner picks. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not gonna like say like the cast is, but like I'm sure people know season 40 is the all winner season.
You know the cast already?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they revealed like it's been leaked, completely leaked.
Man.
But the season 40 cast is all winners, and they're bringing back Edge of Extinction, and that was probably the worst idea they ever had, coupled with the best idea they've ever had. So like, because everyone's wanted winners for so long. Edge of Extinction should not have ever come into their minds again for season 40 as the all-winner season. Because here's the thing. Of course they're going to fucking go to Edge of Extinction. Who wouldn't? You're still in the game. Like, who cares? And you don't have to play
and they just got off of season 38 where the guy won.
Where the guy won. Like, come on.
There's no reason not to do it.
If you're a challenge beast and you're a former winner like Ben,
but
not Ben, but like.
But like, you know what CBS said, right? They're like, wait, it worked!
Yeah.
And we gotta bring it back!
It was successful, and Probst was pissed that nobody liked that Chris won. And, like, the reason why was because we didn't get to know Chris, first of all. Second of all,
hold on, Nate. We know he came in there to play the perfect game. And guess what? He fucking did! He won! Woo, baby, woo! That's my boy Chris Underwood. Best winner. Only had to play Survivor for like 17 days, 15 days. Beautiful.
Terrible. Like, terrible end to season. Like, yes, Gavin wasn't like the most personable people ever, but like, Gavin played the fucking game. I'm sorry. Like,
Gavin played a better early mid game than end game.
But when you set yourself up correctly, you don't need to play in the merge. That's the whole thing. Like, if you don't need to play, I think that's more impressive than someone who has to fight every single round just to stay in. So I don't know. I think that shows more of a mastery of it. I would say, but
we've given our 2 minutes of time, but
Yeah.
maybe we'll do another video on what we think about the. We'll look at the leak.
I hate Age of Extinction. It should never have happened. But moving on.
That's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Let's pick a winner here. Who we think's gonna win? I usually have us pick a male and female, but to be honest, I'm not leaning towards any males this season.
I'm not leaning towards anyone this season.
I am going to pick just my favorite gal, Molly Byman, 27, from Durham, who lives in Durham, North Carolina. She was the one who did. Actually, let me just get the picture here. Dun 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 dun. Share screen. I think she's gonna do well. I have a lot of faith that she'll do very well this season. I don't know. Is that no one sticking to you at all, Nate?
So so what I typically do is like I go by the rules of male and female, but like usually one of them is more of a troll pick and more of like wishful thinking.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't even do a troll pick because I don't like
more realistic. Like I'll explain my troll pick. My realistic winners pick is Lauren. I think she just has what a good survivor needs. And a good survivor player needs. I like Lauren a lot. So and then my troll pick is Dean, and that is literally wishful thinking that he's a little bit of an asshole. So that is literally the only reason why. I don't really, none of the guys really stick out to me, and I don't know. I tend to like last season. Like I think
if I'm gonna go with Guy, I gotta go with. Oh, I have 38 guests because I paid this what I based it on. I'm gonna probably go with Dan Spilo.
Yeah.
Just because he's a talent manager like me, so.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that I don't know. It's hard to pick. Like last season we were absolutely convinced a woman was gonna win, but and I think without Edge of Extinction last season, I think a woman very well would have won. But this season,
right, we're thinking Victoria.
Yeah, I'm going in with a grain of salt this season because I'm like with this this is such a weird twist. It's such a different twist that it's hard and it hasn't been really fully explained either. So it's like
I don't even I have no idea exactly what Rob and Sandra are gonna do. Yeah, what is
the real purpose? Is it like fucking Cochrane and Game Changers? Like what the hell was the purpose of putting Cochrane on a damn boat?
Hey, he gave her a lot of insights.
He did. Like, to be fair, Debbie needed it, but
she does need a little direction.
But I don't know. It's going to be a little bit harder to predict because they haven't really done a coaches season where the coaches don't play.
Yeah, so you know they're going to play.
Yeah, I really
actually. Well, here's the thing. It could be it could be like one of those things where they have to both decide if they want to play, and we know Sandra.
They've stated that they're not actual players, so like that's why I said
But we know if they get a choice to play though, Sandra's gonna 100% choose to play, and Rob,
maybe when Rob's deep enough in it, maybe
he might be like, these people are morons.
Yeah,
of course I can play and beat them.
Yeah. Please don't tag me at the end of the season. Boston Rob won again. And he's the best player ever. No, he's not.
Hey, I love
player, but he's not the best.
Yeah, he's a very great and entertaining player. If to understand the Survivor arc, you need to watch Rob.
Yeah. You need to watch him, but you don't need to necessarily play like him.
Yeah, you don't have to play like him. But
I would caution against it. But
you need to be able to familiarize yourself with players that are similar to him, because people that strong arm, mafia style players.
Yeah. If you're going to pick up things from Rob's game, pick up the psychology of his game. That is the more important thing to learn from him than actually playing like Rob. Mm-hmm. And so that's and Sandra, I would say, is the better player in general than Rob. So that's me though. But okay.
You know what? Let's. I'd say we can end it here. Yeah. Going for about a little over an hour and a half. It's not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all.
Yeah. Well, this was 20 people, so that's not, you know.
Yes.
So
yeah, plus 2 coaches.
yeah, so that's 4 minutes a person on average, plus with a few rants here and there.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I want to thank you guys for watching. Nate, do you have anything you want to say to the viewers, where they can follow you on, or?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter at Hatsmania, and I'm also The System on YouTube as well. It's a game that I host. It's an original format, unlike Survivor or Big Brother. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check that out. We are currently airing our 5th season, aka All Stars, and it is a wild ride at the moment. Episode 3 just came out today. Episode 4 is planned to come out within the next 2 days. So look out for that, and I hope you guys, if you do check it out, enjoy the ride.
And be sure to check it out. Miranda, who has been on this podcast a few times before, is on that season.
Yeah, she won season 2, and she's back for All Stars. So if you liked Miranda on here, be sure to check her out on there as well.
I'll hopefully I remember to put a link down below. Nate, send me a link.
I will.
All right. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe below if you enjoyed the video. If you did not enjoy the video and you think we're idiots, great for you, but like the video anyway. Maybe comment, tell us why we're wrong about everything. Or be like one of those people that comment after the season and be like, hey, you were wrong, while we laugh and sip tea. Anyway, until next time, guys, I will be recapping this season, even if it is just me, but I will reach out to people, whoever is around on whatever day, and we will recap together. They'd hope to see you at least a few times. All right, until next time, guys. Peace.